Hi everyone, this is Professor Muldrow, and I'm here to tell you about an alternative way to write C++ programs if you're working on a Mac computer. Now what you're looking at here on the screen is a tool known as code blocks. This is a tool I use extensively in my C++ classes on my Windows PC. Unfortunately, this version of code blocks probably is not going to be supported if you're using a Mac. The reason is currently CodeBlocks has a version for Mac but does not have a 64-bit version available, and the most recent versions of Mac OS only support 64-bit applications. Now there are other tools that you can use, like Xcode is a tool that's very commonly used on a Mac. But another alternative, which may be even simpler and the one I recommend, is this right here. It's called Replit.com, R-I-P-L-I-T. It is a website, Replit.com. In order to use it, you must create a free account. The way you do that is you click on the Sign Up button here in the top right and make up a username, give a valid email, and create a password, and then click on Create Account, which I've already done. Once you create your account, you log in. I use my LBCC email as my username. And when you log in, you are eventually taken to this site. Now, in order to do programs in whatever language you want to use, there are several you can use. You click on this Create button, this blue Create button. And you're going to create what's known as a REPL, R-E-P-L. Interesting name. First, you select what language you want to use. As you can see, there are several you can pick from. We're going to go with C++. You always get a very interesting title for this REPL. I'm going to change that to something a little more normal, slightly. We're just going to call it Hello. And we'll create it. And eventually, the REPL will be created, and here it is. Now here you have your main.cpp file. That's the file that will contain your C++ code. This first line, include IOStream, is a very necessary line for any C++ program, but what I would recommend you do is after that line include this line, using namespace and then standard, or STD, and don't forget that semicolon. That way, you can get rid of the STD with 2 colons after cout. Cout, by the way, is the basic output command for C++. It will output whatever comes after it to the default output device, which is this black console window over here. Once you have your code written, you click the Run button at the top middle. And if your program is written correctly, you get your output, as you can see right here. There's Hello World. Now, should you make a mistake when you're coding, like suppose I forgot that semicolon at the end of that line, as you can see there's a little red squiggly where that semicolon used to be. And if I try to run that program, I get an error message, expected semicolon. So let's put the semicolon back and run it again. And the program works. Of course, this is a very simple program. You will be creating much more complicated programs in C++, but this was meant to give you an introduction as to how to use Replit. If you have any questions, please send me an email at kmuldrow@lbcc.edu.